Welcome to Real Chat,
the podcast where we, Annie and Chad, discuss real shit
loosely related to the real estate industry.
Hi, Annie.
Why do you have to do that clapping thing? I need to know.
Because it's fun.
Why did it have to be in every screen? I'm just curious.
You mean when I
I'm not
clapped
judging.
on the before we started recording? Oh, because it gives the editing team a point in all three videos and on the audio file where a clap is when you look at the audio file, you know how you have the waves when you look at like music, like if you're making a social media video or something like that, there's like the waves and how much audio is coming in. A clap is a really loud noise, so it spikes the audio and gives a point in the audio, and then the visual of the hands coming together on the video match that spike so they can align all three cameras and the audio before they start editing.
Okay.
Because the
Oh,
audio...
dear Lord, I'm sorry I asked. That was really long.
The audio file is just the audio. There's no video on it. That's why. So they have to be able to match them up.
I knew there was a reason. You weren't just doing it. So
No,
I just wanted to know.
I know.
Now I know.
I can't wait until I get my actual clapper like they use on TV. Like, you know, when they say take two.
Like take one, take two.
That's what that's for.
That's called a clapper?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
You want me to Google it?
I'm going to verify it later.
All right, let's just verify it right now. I'm going to do it right now.
I don't think it's called a clapper. I'm going to go with it's not called a clapper.
What do you think it's called?
I don't know.
What is the thing that
Movie producers
movie directors use
Directors.
when starting a scene?
Come on, don't be a clapper. Don't be a clapper.
The thing that movie directors use when starting a scene is called a clapperboard.
Clapperboard. Okay, so we're both right.
Also known as a film slate if you're professional.
Okay. All right, well, good.
It
Now I
is
know.
a device used to synchronize picture and sound by creating a distinct visual and audible clap at the beginning of each take.
Yep, I had no idea.
I know.
I like to learn things, so thank you.
Now you've learned something.
Now I have more useless knowledge.
So
The
full.
files are so
It's
full
gonna
in here.
start
Like
flying
I know.
out of your ears if you don't stop taking in useless knowledge.
I need to purge the useless knowledge.
My favorite is when the useless knowledge comes flying out of the vault. Like, you now know that, and then 6 months from now, you're going to be somewhere, and somebody's going to say, I need one of those things that da-da-da-da-da, and you're going to go, that's a clapperboard. I do.
Here's the problem with my
vault still works
age
like
now.
that.
Yeah, mine does not. Now it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I know that. And I'm going to think really hard and be like, I can't remember it.
That's funny. You're not that old. You don't do it that
I'll probably
lot
come
right
up with
now.
the first letter. I'm really good at that.
You are. It's uncanny, actually.
It is. I cannot always, may not think of somebody's name, but I always can see in my head the first letter of their name. Always.
Crazy. So what's going on this week? Did you make any progress on your renovation?
Painting now.
Painting? That's always fun.
I'm not painting. Someone's painting. Yeah. I bought furniture.
Oh, you did?
Furniture is so expensive.
I didn't know you bought some because we were shopping and shopping and shopping.
I've looked
and
everywhere.
shopping
I've looked everywhere
for furniture.
So
because you have this whole new open concept and you're not exactly sure how to put furniture in it because you've never had that before.
Nobody told me.
Yeah.
Before you take down the walls, what you need to consider is now you're going to see it all at one time. So it all has to flow really well.
And match.
And walls give you places to put more furniture and things. Like, so now I'm going to have to really rethink decorating because
decor for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, the furniture, you really don't need walls. You can put furniture out in a space, but
I have a hard time with that.
Right, because it's new.
Right. So
You'll love
I have
it
been
once
to
you do it.
every furniture store in a 30-mile radius. Okay, that's not very far, but
So here's the $1 million question.
Where did I get my furniture?
No.
Oh.
I just touched my chin on the microphone and it scared me.
See, those are things you could keep to yourself and nobody would have known.
No, somebody's going to know because you were looking that way, but I just went like this.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Something about furniture that everybody wants to know.
Did you or did you not buy a new dining room table?
Not yet.
Well, you told me you were. So you're not done shopping for furniture. If I hit my chin on this microphone one more time,
What is
it's like
wrong?
poking me in the face.
It's not poking you. You're poking it.
It's too close.
It's not moving.
All right, take your hand off my microphone.
Okay, but it's not moving.
Okay.
So I bought for the living room area.
Even though we have now a great room.
Whatever. And I bought...
That's a good one, too.
And I bought for the kitchen, like that little nook. It's going to be a seating for 2.
Yeah. I'm super excited about that.
And then...
it's going to be cute.
And then... yeah, so I'm going to need a new dining room table. So I've been everywhere, and I wasn't liking anything. And so I went to the store on Mid Rivers Mall, the Scandinavian furniture store, which I loved everything. But... You know that little TikTok that says you don't have McDonald's money? I got Scandinavian furniture money, like the chair. Like one chair is like $6,000. So anyway, I ended up at Lazy Boy, which I thought all Lazy Boy sold was recliners. So I was schooled there. No, they have everything. And it's comfortable. And so I did the whole...
So what did you end up with? Because I know we were going back and forth. We were doing a couch and a love seat or 4 chairs or... yeah.
I did a couch.
Because you have explain your layout now, just because not everybody knows your house, right? So you used to have all separate rooms, but you have the fireplace at the end on one wall, a big fireplace that sticks out into the room.
Like and then, 4 feet into the room.
And then you have railing because you have an atrium ranch.
Right.
So there's a railing on the one side, and then the other side's open, and then on the back side of like the living area in the great room, you have the island for the kitchen counter, right? So that's kind of the layout. And we were struggling because we're like, there's no walls to put furniture on, so whatever you did had to come out in the center, and everything we liked seemed to be too big to sit in the center of the room.
So, yeah. So couch, 2 chairs, probably more mid-century modern than not, but maybe not quite as, but
did you get the
2 swivel chairs and then one reclining chair that coordinates with it. So my husband doesn't know that. I'm going to tell him that's his Christmas present because he just wants a reclining chair. If he had his way, we would have 4 recliners in the living room and that would be it. So he's getting a recliner that he doesn't know. So
he's gonna know now.
But no, so I went through the whole thing, and they're great at
Lazy Boy.
Lazy Boy. So she came out to my house.
Oh, really?
There is no charge for that. She came out to my house, measured my rooms, physically put the furniture, on a 3D image of what it would look like, all the accessories.
Wow.
But then when we were done and she hit the total button, apparently I don't have Lazy Boy money either.
That free consultation, you found out how they pay for that?
So for now, I'm getting the living room and the kitchen, and I'm going to keep my dining room set for now. But I am going to change it because I'm going to get a round table.
Round instead of rectangle.
Yeah, so it's so fun.
I didn't know Lazy Boy did that. So you didn't end up going with the chairs that we loved at Ashley?
No.
Good. Now I can buy them.
You can. You could have bought them anyway.
I always have the same furniture as you. That's weird. We already, people already accuse us of
I know, but
all
who's going to
sorts
come?
of different things.
Well, you say that, and you tried to get me to go buy the same couch you have.
Yeah, but you do different colors, and you would have picked a completely different style. Nobody would have known it was the same couch. It would have just been the same brand.
Okay, well, you can go have the blue chairs.
They weren't blue.
What color were they? You're not going to get those chairs.
Those are the ones I'm talking about.
Let's look at those for our office so we can both have them.
Actually, they'd go well in the office.
Only reason I didn't get those was then I felt like I needed to buy everything from Lazy Boy because she did that.
I'm just not sure where we put them in.
So you know the leather furniture of mine that went from me to you?
Yeah.
So Lazy Boy does the same thing. You pick the furniture and then you can pick the fabric or the leather and they, so.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so the downside to that is 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you come to my house for Christmas, we're sitting on lawn chairs.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, too, I got really frustrated, too, because you know me and I don't have any patience in waiting for things either. But you remember when I bought my truck, a blue truck, that for the longest time, I keep a truck or a car for what, I don't know, year and a half maybe, and then I get tired of it.
This is the one. I'm going to keep this one forever.
And I say that every time I buy a car.
Because last time I was really not telling the truth.
Let's be real. The reason I say I'm going to keep it forever is just to get my husband on board to let me buy it.
No, it's not. You think you're lying to me too. You say it to me, and then I call you out on your shit.
I'm really trying to convince myself of it is what I'm doing.
That's what it is.
But this one I was like, I'm going to keep forever. And I saw it. So I was like, I was tired of my black truck. And I was like, I want a new truck. So I went out online and I looked at trucks and I found the one that I wanted. And it was like forever waiting on it.
And you wouldn't be patient.
6 months.
No.
Yes, it was. I waited for that thing. It was in production on their website for 6 months and it never showed up on the lot. And then finally it showed up on the lot and I went and bought it and I still haven't. 2.5 years later.
I feel like the story has a little twist in it because I feel like you settled for the blue truck when the other truck wasn't coming in.
No, so the one that I was waiting for, that's somewhat true. It's not entirely true. So the one that I was waiting for was a GMC Sierra AT4 in royal blue. And with all the bells and whistles on the inside, and that was the one that was in production that I had waited for 6 months. And because I'm impatient, I would drive like the internet's not going to tell me right when I look at it. I would drive by the lot every once in a while just to make sure it wasn't sitting there. And
there might be medication for some of these issues you have.
I'm pretty sure I have some medication for them.
Oh my gosh!
Anyways. I was driving by one day and my truck wasn't there, so that was disheartening. But then I was going towards Highway K, which was the opposite of the way I usually go. And there's a Chevy dealer down the road a little bit, and they were unloading trucks at the Chevy dealer, and they happened to be backing off a Chevy Silverado ZR2, which when I picked the AT4, so the AT4 stands for off-road, the Silverado Chevy, which Chevy and GMC are the same company, right? The GMC is kind of like the elevated brand. I know, I'm just for everybody in case they don't know that. They're the same car, almost exactly. The GMC is just like the elevated brand and the Chevy is the non-elevated brand. But I would also tell you that like if I'm gauging, GMCs are also the old people brand and Chevy are the young people brand. So it's like the finishes and stuff inside are like my truck, because it's a Chevy has...
I'm GMC. I got the AT4.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
And you have those stitches, but the color choices in GMC are like all real deep colors, and they like tans and dark browns and deep reds and like those types of things, whereas my truck has neon yellow stitching in it. Like that kind of difference, right?
Right.
So they were backing that ZR2 off of the road, which was the first ZR2 that the dealer was getting. They had ordered it to put it in their showroom, and they were backing it off the truck. And I pulled in and said, "Can I drive that?" And I drove it, and it's the same truck. So I bought it.
I remember.
Yeah. But I did wait for a long time.
Well, I'm going to wait for 8 weeks for my furniture.
And I did not have, nor do you, momentum at that point. It was staggeringly non-momentous.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what we were going to talk about today was momentum.
Yes. Did you like that segue?
Not really. It was pretty clunky, but we'll go with it.
I'm pretty clunky sometimes. It's all right.
Yeah. So
what about momentum?
So I was just reflecting today. We do Waking Up to Win every day with our agents.
Yeah.
And so we talked today about the topic we're talking about every day, which is finishing strong, getting yourself ready for next year. And I just had my own epiphany after that, was that we have a lot of momentum. And as I look at like all the different areas of my life, I feel so excited about 2025 because I feel like there's so much momentum. Like,
would explain what you mean by momentum, because like if I'm watching that, like, okay, what do you mean?
Okay, let me tell you. So let's do. I'm trying to think of every area of my life. So I feel like so many times at the end of the year, you're just like finishing it out, and then you're waiting to start everything next year. Yeah. So the momentum would be that's seamless, that you're continuing on, like you feel strong about all of it. So, for example. We're going to have 4 new listings starting in January. Yeah. Like doing all the things that we need to do on a daily basis as a real estate agent, that you do it every day, the right thing, and that, eventually you just get that momentum with the office. We're not thinking about moving. Like by January, we're going to be moving in. Mm-hmm. My house, like I'm not thinking about all this. Like the momentum is there. Like all of these great things are falling into place for 25. Our agents, I think our agents are in a great place in performing, and everything's just going to be seamless as we roll into 2025 with momentum.
I agree with you. I think momentum is important when you talk about a lot of different things, right? I mean, it's important in life. It's a law of physics, but it is how you get that. I think, I guess, is the question, right? How did that happen? How did we create that?
I think that
because I don't know.
It took us a while to.
Yeah, I don't know the
you
answer
and
to that, because I think I want like an answer, like a pointed answer. This is the step to get momentum.
Since we're always winging this, and like there's no time to like pre-think about any of it. But I do think that something that we're guilty of is we don't ever give anything long enough to get momentum.
Yeah,
because we're like instant gratification kind of people. That's why we like the casino so much. Instead of investing like in the stock market with our extra money, we put it all on red.
We're fucking losers. Stock market.
But Bitcoin, whatever.
You had really good momentum in that conversation.
So
how did we get there? Because
we decided.
instant.
So you and I decided, and I feel like it's a couple years now that as we made our business plan, that it wasn't January through.
Yeah, I think it was
December.
almost a year and a half ago.
And so, just putting all those things in place, and like our waking up to win, we have literally been doing that every day
for 3 years.
For 3 years without fail.
Right.
And we take it seriously, and we don't take days off. We don't make reasons to not do it. We do it. I think we take a couple days off a year. Christmas.
Yeah, holidays,
not
right?
many, maybe 5. And that's something that I think gives us momentum. We don't just, we have decided that, that was something that was important to us, was to engage and plug in with our agents every day. And how do you do that without coming to the office?
Yeah,
and so we do it.
And I think starting to your point, it is a good point. It was a year and a half ago. I remember having the conversation incessantly for a few weeks, because it was, so we're rolling up on our 2-year anniversary of converting to a Realty One Group franchise.
Right.
And it was like 4 or 5 months after we converted, because in true nature, when we converted, we expected all of these grand things to just happen, right? And while that's wonderful, and a lot of those grand things that we expected a year and a half, 2 years down the road now have happened, which is great. But it didn't happen in 4 months. And I remember keep saying, the start is awful,
right?
Because it's slow, and
the discipline to do the things because you take a lot of time, or we took a lot of time to decide what are the most important things when it comes to our people, what are the most important things when it comes to our brand. I mean, we had knockout dragouts to get there, but then once we chose to do those things for once, I feel like we were committed to, we do them because we know they're the right thing to do, even though there wasn't instant gratification for most of them, and we kept doing them. And now I think we have momentum.
I agree with you. And it is the fact of choosing what you're going to do, and then doing it, and giving it enough time to, and recognizing whether you're being consistent or not. Because I think a lot of the things that we're doing now that are giving us momentum are actually things we've probably done
hit or miss
for years,
right? But not always consistently,
but never on a consistent basis. And that is that's where the momentum comes from. It's
actually amazing, because we didn't invent it.
No,
it wasn't our original concept.
I know.
It was actually putting into place what we already, what we knew we should do.
And I remember having this conversation with my dad, who.
Are you calling him?
No, I was looking something up because I'm having this conversation with my dad, and I remember talking to him, and I remember being very frustrated because we didn't, have 30 agents by the end of 6 months, and we didn't do this, and we didn't do that. And my dad said to me, he goes, you don't want that anyways. He's like, you would fold so fast if you had 30 agents overnight. Like, it doesn't work. You don't want that. The most successful businesses, and this holds true for, agent count. It holds true for sales volume, for realtors. It holds true for anything. The most successful businesses grow at a slow and steady pace.
Sure.
If you look at the big, huge companies, Google,
you got to
Facebook,
figure it out before you start.
Yes, they started
Ramp it up.
slow, and they grow at a consistent pace. It's just that when you do that, it's that compound effect. When you grow at that consistent pace, if you're growing at 20% every year, well, the first year, 20% of one is 20, right? Or 100 is 20. Then you have 120 the next year. Well, you get only an extra 4 people from that. But then the next year you get 8
right.
and 16 and 32. And so all of a sudden you're growing huge. But that's the momentum part, right? That's
right.
the part where you have the momentum, but that's slow at the beginning.
It is. And you could put that to everything that we do.
It's the compound effect. I don't know whether you've ever read that book or not, but it's a great book. It's like the question.
I have
whether
read
you
that
would,
book. We should do that. Waking Up to Win on that.
We should. You're not wrong.
I think we might have, but
the choice of what is the choice that they give you with the money in there? You get to pick. Like, that's the opening of the book, the questions that's asked. I feel like, unless I'm mixing my books.
I don't know. But I do remember reading it, but yes.
You would get a choice of, what is it? I'll give you $1 million today or a penny a day that doubles every day for the next year. Which one do you want? And everybody picks the $1 million. But if you do the math,
the other way is
8 times more money by the end of the year with the other way. Yeah. So it's just that mindset. And what I was looking up here was momentum, which is, I like definitions.
I know
because
you do.
That it's a physics thing, right? It's the quantity of motion of a moving body. But the physics nerd in me, and if there's another physics nerd anywhere else, knows that it is the formula for momentum is the product of its mass. It's a product of its mass and the velocity at which it's traveling. And so it just makes sense to the bigger you get, the more sales you do, the faster you go, the easier it is to have momentum, which is just you moving along, right? Mm-hmm. It's the force of physics that moves everything forward.
And that was the whole point in our Waking Up to Win is how much, Mr. Physics, how much energy does it take every time you start and have to stop again?
Oh, yeah.
Or stop and have to start again,
right. No, and physics, momentum is the thing that keeps you going, right?
And
it's the natural force that keeps an object moving.
Which is why we do our Waking Up to Win, and it's why we say that all the time to our agents, because this is not a business that you can keep stopping and starting. No. You have to keep going. You have to do all the things that you choose to do
consistently.
You get to pick.
I know.
I don't care how you grow your business.
Well, it's funny because I'm gonna be sitting on a panel Friday, which by the time this comes out, it will have been last Friday. So I'll have sat on.
I don't know that
panel,
you have to say that anymore.
That is all about social media, which is funny because I don't consider myself a social media mogul. Like, I'm not, I have never gone viral. I have never. What are the other indicators of people that are successful?
I'm already a little salty about this, but go ahead.
I know. Because I don't know why they asked me and not you. I have no idea. But
our
either
social media
way,
is together.
We do everything together. I mean, and the same videos get posted. I think that probably
and I think I'm the funnier of the two.
Well, that's. You're entitled to your opinion.
Okay, the smarter.
Anyways.
Give me one. Anywho.
You're the prettier one of the two
Prettier?
of
That's
us.
not it. That's not the one.
You are the nicer one of the two of us.
Oh, that's so boring.
It's not my fault you picked the boring character traits.
That was actually one of the things that I know I've interrupted you now, but that we have momentum on. It was one of the best decisions that we made in
That's where I'm going with
2024.
this, right.
Was hiring a marketing company to manage our social media.
Yeah.
It's still us, but we're being managed, which we need to
Right.
be managed.
So and what I was going to say was the momentum of that, like, I have never gone viral. I've never, like, you haven't ever gone viral. Like, neither of us have ever done that on our
Right.
social media profiles. However, people are noticing us because of our social media, and that's like what we walk into rooms and
That's
they
part of the
want to do
momentum
videos with
of-
us,
right.
and like, but it's a consistency thing. And to your point,
Which we struggled for. We've known,
from,
right?
yeah.
We've known since the beginning of the brokerage, when we were just Callaway Realty Group, that we needed this, and
Right.
it took us to find
Right. And that
the right
consistency
person.
and the right people, right? The right team. That is
we
important.
have an amazing team.
We do. I agree. They're awesome. Essential Marketing Group.
I
is
was going to
their
say and give them a shout out.
name. Mandy Morville.
That's right.
If anybody needs help with social media or anything really,
Right.
marketing wise, they do email marketing, you know.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was my point in that is that it's not even the momentum doesn't come from catastrophic events, right? Because like I know it's in the social media realm, I know one person personally that has had a video go viral, yet they never get anything from their social media. And so it's like you have a video go viral and that's great,
Right.
but that's not what it's about.
No.
It's about the momentum.
Yep.
So good topic.
Hey, thanks.
Momentum.
It was just my thought of the day.
I like physics too, so it's fun
Oh,
that I had
yeah,
to tie it
not
in
so
on
much.
physics.
We didn't talk about death. We threw gambling in.
But you got to bring it up now. Why you got to bring it up now?
I don't know.
We have like 2 minutes left.
All right.
I closed.
We could probably just be done 2 minutes early.
Okay.
Is that like a thing? Is that like a rule we can't
No,
break?
it's not. I'm just saying. I was just giving you a time check because a lot of times you're like, we get to the end, and I'm like, okay, shut it, sister. We're way over time, and you just keep going.
I know. I like to talk.
Or other times you're staring at me going, why won't you just end it? Put me out of my misery. I do like to talk, and we do need to go to the casino soon.
I know.
And you need to come see my new house.
I did a open house with 2 of our agents went with me. We did the Loft downtown on Friday night, and we passed every casino. We passed the Horseshoe. They don't want to stop. And then we passed Hollywood, and then we passed Ameristar.
You didn't go past River City?
We did not go past River City,
We were down by River City the other day.
but they didn't want to go.
Nobody, my mom and grandma went on Friday. My grandma loves it when I go to the casino with her.
Yeah,
And I do enjoy going to the casino with her. It reminds me a lot of going with your mom.
my mom. I know. I had to
Yeah.
go. I had to go weekly with my mom, so I was like, I got to go to the casino.
Those were some late nights, but those were good times too.
My mom could go to the
my
casino.
We were running the dance studio and we wouldn't get done until like 9 o'clock, and she'd
She'd
show
meet
up
us
at
there,
9:30 at 83 years old, or
Yeah.
how old was
Yep.
she?
Yeah, 82.
82 years old. Here she comes in her minivan, parking it there. She don't want to drive after dark, so she was
No.
only driving as far as she had to, which was to the dance studio in
She's the
O'Fallon.
best. We miss her.
And then we'd pile in the car.
We did.
And on we'd go. We'd be there until 2 or 3 in the
Oh,
morning.
absolutely.
Sometimes 4 or 5 if she was
Good
winning.
times.
Feel like I'm tired. She buy one more 100.
Yep.
Oh, it's good times. Cherish those moments while you have them. If you don't have your mom and dad, not to be sad or anything,
Yeah.
but it's
My dad was my gambling partner because we had to.
yeah. So I'm excited that I get the opportunity to go with my grandma every once in a
Yeah.
while. That's fun. They didn't live by me for most of my life, so
Right.
I'm glad they're right down the street. Anyways,
All
anything
right.
else?
Nope. That's all I got.
This, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta look it up because you didn't even call me out. See, this is the difference between me and you. I'd have called your ass out at the beginning of this.
I
You
don't know.
didn't
Well,
even
tell me
call
why, and
me
I'll call
out.
you out.
Because I didn't say what episode number we were on.
You didn't.
I know.
I told you would forget. No, you can't look. What episode is it? Okay, Andy
Ladies and
was right.
gentlemen.
Chad forgot.
I have a list, and I'm using my list.
Okay.
This has been episode 10 of Real Chat. Thank you for joining us. See you next
Bye.
week.